Well, good morning. It is Wednesday, and it is September 8th, 2021, for those that are watching this in another year or so or more. And we are continuing to work our way through the first book of John's Gospel, chapter 1, I should say, the first chapter of John's Gospel. And we're going to look at verses 19 to 28 today. And here we're talking again, we've kind of briefly talked about John the Baptist. We're going to talk more about John the Baptist today and then tomorrow as well. So let's just jump right into this and get this going, as they say. 19 to 28 in the first chapter of John. This is a testimony given by John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny it, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then are you, Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" He answered, "No." Then they said to him, "Who are you? Let us have an answer for those who sent us. What do you say about yourself?" He said, "I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, 'Make straight the way of the Lord,' as the prophet Isaiah said." Now they had been sent from the Pharisees. They asked him, "Why then are you baptizing if you are neither the Messiah, nor Elijah, nor the prophet?" John answered them, "I baptize with water. Among you stands one whom you do not know, the one who is coming after me. I am not worthy to untie the thong of his sandal." This took place in Bethany, across the Jordan, where John was baptizing. Okay, we'll talk more, I think, about baptizing tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to have the baptism of Christ, and so we will talk about that more tomorrow. But when we were in Israel, we did get to the Jordan and be baptized in the Jordan, and that was one of the most memorable events that we had when we were in the Holy Land. But here we have John being quizzed by these people that were sent from the Pharisees to find out, who is this guy that's out here doing these things and bringing all these people out from the cities to see him out in the wilderness. And he's kind of a strange guy. Remember, he's out there eating honey and locusts and dressed in camel hair and all that, and he's a more or less a kind of a nomadic, maybe figure, if you want for a better word. And so he's puzzling them who he is. And I think John's answer is something that we can take to our own heart in this day and age. What John's saying here, he is, first of all, he says, "I'm not the Messiah." He's not the Messiah, and he says that. Then they ask him if he's Elijah. Well, that one gets a little sticky, because in Matthew's gospel it tells us he is Elijah, and that comes from verses in Malachi. And I'm not going to get heavy into the verses, but it's Malachi. I believe it's chapter 1 or chapter 3. But at any rate, he's saying he's not Elijah. He's saying that he's not the prophet, and of course we know he is a prophet. He is then quoting the prophet Isaiah. "I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, 'Make straight the way of the Lord.'" That's a prophetic statement. You don't make that statement without being a prophet. So John is absolutely a prophet, but his point is this, and again, this is where I think we can apply this to our own lives, is that John's saying, listen, guys, it's not about me. Forget about me. I'm not that important. I'm not important at all. You need to remember who's coming, who I'm signaling the way for, who I am shining the light upon. His idea is to prepare the way of the Lord, to make the road straight for Jesus to come onto the scene, and that is coming quickly, very quickly, tomorrow. And that Paul is, or that John rather, is of no consequence compared. He's like the lowest slave compared to Jesus, even though Jesus says in verses that John is the greatest born among men. But John says, "I'm the lowest of slaves. I'm not even worthy to tie his sandals or to untie his sandals." So that's John's station. He says it's all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus and Jesus' mission. Whatever he's doing is not important. What he is doing is important, but it's not about who he is in the doing of it. It's about who it's being done for. It's being done for God. It's being done for Christ. And we need to remember that when we're going about. We don't want to say our ministry or what have you. It's God's ministry. And we need to remember when we're doing things and when we're interacting, what we're doing is for God and not for us. And that's an important thing for us to remember. We need to have the humility of John when we're going about our ministry. God's ministry. So, with that, I'm going to leave you go. It's a busy day today for us over here. I've got to get ready for council meeting tonight, and I've got youth group tonight, and I've got to be on a second night with a new group of young men that I'm working with, the 5th and 6th graders, and so pray for me. I may need it right now, and I'm getting texts from Bill, so I need to get back with Bill. So with that, have a very blessed day, and please be a blessing to someone today. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be talking more about John and Jesus tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.